Hey Canucks fans, the Vancouver Canucks were shut out by the visiting Detroit Red Wings 1-0 at Rogers Arena last night, putting a bit of a dash in the Canucks playoff chances. Let's talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and one other thing. I am Canuck Clay. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Friday, March the 18th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Didn't get to see much of the game live as I was at a birthday dinner for my mother-in-law, but I caught up on the game afterwards, and here are some reflections on the game. As always, what I liked. Thatcher Demko. He was awesome. Back to his Demko-like self, making 34 of 35 saves. Only one goal beat him, and it had to go off of his own player, Quinn Hughes. We know that goal. That was the one where the Red Wings scored just as their penalty was ending, 2-on-1. I'll get to that in the next section of what I didn't like. But yes, one goal beats Demko only, and especially in the first period, he was so good, making really, really good saves, helping the Canucks escape that first period at a 0-0 tie. He looks fine. He looks sharp. So Demko was definitely the best player for the Canucks all game. Also like the game of Elias Pettersson. He missed 2 games with a mysterious injury. Most people speculating that it was indeed his wrist again. But he looked good. He had 6 shots on goal. That's 6. And yes, no rocket one-timers on the power play, but that's because of what the Red Wings were doing defensively as opposed to, I think, any tentativeness on his part. So 6 shots for Petey along with 2 hits and a goal that he scored after the whistle went, which was kind of funny. No big deal. And 21.5 minutes of ice time. So I thought Petey had a really good game. I also thought that JT Miller was good once again with 4 shots on goal. Pearson with 4 shots on goal. Kind of tough to really rave about the Canucks offensively when they got shut out. But Connor Garland, I really noticed as well. He had 8 shots on net in 20 minutes of ice time. And what I like about Garland is he always seems to make something happen, whether he is doing his little shimmy move off the left boards and cutting into the middle and taking a quick wrist shot, whether it is skating up and down the wing and making other teams take penalties. Actually, at least I think 2 of the 3 penalties that the Detroit Red Wings took were against Garland. One of them was along the boards when he got hooked by Suter, and then another one where he was behind the net and he got interfered with by Mark Stahl. So overall, Garland was making things happen, drawing 2 penalties, like I said, and 8 shots on goal. Also like the fact that the Canucks were quite disciplined. They only took 1 minor penalty, and that was Travis Hamonic in the first period. Detroit did not score on that 1 power play, so I guess you could say the Canucks penalty kill was really good. It was 100%, and they only took 1 penalty. So those were some of the positives from last night's game. What didn't I like? Well, let's start with 0. I didn't like the fact that the Canucks couldn't score. And yes, they did pepper Nedeljkovic with 43 shots. Most of them not too difficult, but he did make some good saves. We got to give him credit for sure. He got a shutout after all. And Besser had 2 really good chances on the first period power play that he missed. Second period power play, excuse me. So overall, obviously, when you see the big fat goose egg, that you don't like that for the Canucks, and that's one thing I didn't like is the fact that they couldn't score, and that includes 3 power play chances, so going 0 for 3 on the power play. So that's another thing that I didn't like. Didn't like the Canucks start. Well, a bit of the first period was okay. They had a few good chances, but really they got outplayed in that first period by a large margin. Outshot 18-12. I don't know how you give up 18 shots. Some teams don't even give up 18 shots in an entire game, but the Canucks gave up 18 shots in the first period. They had many. Boudreau said there were 25 turnovers. There weren't that many, but it sure seemed like it in the first period. And the Canucks didn't look sharp. And Boudreau even said that was probably the worst period they've played all year. And that includes the ones where they gave up 5 goals in the first period. So that was rough. And would you say inexcusable? Well, the Canucks have played quite well recently, so it's not like this is a common trend. But you do wish that they kind of got up for such an important game despite the lesser opponent. Maybe that was part of the issue as well. Ekman Larsson and Meyer struggled in the first period. That's why they were broken up for the rest of the game. Brock Besser struggled a little bit, especially on the power play. So that's why Tanner Pearson took his spot on the first unit for that 1 chance in the third period. So, and obviously Boudreau was looking for different things, different sparks. You're missing Niels Hoglander. That's another thing that I don't like is he left the game day skate. I think he left the skate early yesterday, and then he didn't skate today. in the optional, although it was optional, and then he could be out to at least next week, because Boudreau said he probably wouldn't even have an update until Monday. Rumored to be a groin injury. That is not a good thing. So we hope that Höglander gets better safely. But you can see now, so you're missing Höglander, so you have Petey in there. Petey was fine. He was 11 minutes of ice time though, and the Canucks I guess are missing two regulars in Dickinson and Höglander up front. So overall, this game was more frustrating as opposed to the Canucks playing poorly. Sure, they played poorly in the first period, but I thought they played well, especially in the second period, and then pretty well in the third period, outshooting Detroit 43-35. Also didn't like the fact that Jim Rutherford has COVID, so hopefully he gets better quickly. But overall, I think the more frustrating thing, as opposed to pointing out individual... Oh yeah, and I mentioned the goal, the only one goal against, came off a power play that had its chances. Besser again with two chances, but then a poor pass from Miller to Horvat skates. Horvat, I'm not going to blame him for not skating back because he was standing still in the bumper. You can't expect him to catch two guys that are completely skating at full speed going the other way. And then it was 2-on-1 that ended up going off of Quinn Hughes' stick. And I noticed when Quinn Hughes plays 2-on-1s, he doesn't play them traditionally. Well, we know that Myers likes to lie down and stretch about 20 feet across the ice. We know that different guys play it differently, but Hughes stays upright and he stays skating. He almost turns and skates forward and skates towards the guy that he's trying to check, which kind of telegraphs it a little bit. Then he kind of makes him susceptible to the cross ice pass, and we saw that again today. So Hughes goes after one guy, goes after Nemestikov, then turns around and tries to go after Suter, and the Suter puts it off of, not intentionally, but off of Hughes' stick and through Demko's legs as Demko was sliding across. So an unfortunate thing. So I'm not blaming Hughes for that goal at all. It was a 2-on-1 after all, but I have noticed both in that overtime goal that they allowed recently against Washington, and then on this one that is the exact same play, that Hughes gets drawn to the defender going down the right side, and he does it by turning around and skating forward at him and not really being able to see both guys. So I'm not sure if that's something that the coaches are going to work with him on, or if they're just going to kind of live with that in Hughes' game. Okay, one other thing. This loss was a serious dash to the Canucks' playoff hopes. Not only because of the opponent. You should be able to beat a Detroit Red Wings team that has been struggling, despite the legendary ex-Canucks of Stetcher and Juolevi on their blue line. But not only did the Canucks lose, but two of the four teams that they were chasing win, which is tough. So Dallas, actually three of them. So Dallas wins in overtime, so they get their full 2 points. The Oilers smoke the Sabres 6-1. I hope the Canucks can do that on Sunday, so they get 2 points. And then Vegas also beats Florida, and they get 2 points. So the three teams that we needed to lose all won: Vegas, Edmonton, and Dallas. The other team I was thinking about was Nashville, but they're a little bit further ahead, and they end up losing 5-4 to the Flyers. But the three teams, Vegas, Edmonton, and Dallas, that we need to lose, that we're chasing, all won. So what does that mean? Well, it means that heading into tonight's action, Vegas has the last wildcard spot at 70, 2 points behind Edmonton, 72. So Edmonton 72, Vegas 70, Dallas 69, Vancouver 67. Now with Vancouver 67 points, so that they're in 10th spot in the division, not even 9th, but they're 10th. They're 3 points behind Vegas with one game in hand, so they could crawl up to one game by, 1 point behind them. But they're also 2 points behind Dallas, who has 3 games in hand. That's the team I'm more concerned about. And then if the Canucks have 67 points in 62 games, that means they only have 20 games left. And if you say that 95 points is the playoff bar, let's just say 95 to make it nice and even. Over the final 20 games, the Canucks either have to go, they need 20 points. So they have to go, they need 28 points to get to 95. So they either go 14-6. That's what I'm trying to say. They either have to go 14-6 or 13-5-2. Both of those get you your 28 points. Again, 14-6 or 13-5-2. So in essence, they cannot afford to lose any more than 5 or 6 more games this entire season. They have 5 back-to-backs. Some of them are on the road, so it's not going to be easy. So they have their work cut out for them. It's because, I've said this many times, it's because they dug themselves such a deep hole at the start of the year under Travis Green that no matter how well they've been playing under Boudreau, it still was going to be a tough mountain to climb. So I'm not going to write them off just yet because I'm too positive and too optimistic to do that. But I've continued to stress that we have to be realistic as well. And there's a reason why the Canucks playoff chances are in the 20% and not the 30, 40, 50 and above. And like I said, a game like this, losing to a lesser team, doesn't hurt as well. Now, if the Canucks beat Calgary on Saturday, beat Buffalo on Sunday, then you still come out of this road trip with 9 out of a possible 14 points. I keep saying road trip, this homestand, 9 out of 14 points. That's okay. Anything less than that, though, and I think you have to be very realistic about your playoff chances, meaning they aren't that very good. They aren't that good. They aren't that very good isn't very good grammar. So the Canucks fans, let me know what you thought about last night's game. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. And tell me one other thing. Leave it in the comments below. And I'm especially interested to know if you're still holding out hope for the playoffs for this team. Shout out to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Use the link in my video descriptions. And to Van CD Experts Real Estate Group, contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Thanks, legendary Lucas Gates. Thanks, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, and Hall of Fame members Jens95, simalexander, Chris Seifried, Adam Brewfield, Shannon Hollingworth, HSM Fangirl Gaming, Smooth Groove, and Carol Bovenlander. Thank you for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You're listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or in my videos on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Become a member or upgrade if you'd like to. And leave a comment down below if you'd like to. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. And tell me one other thing. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Have a great day. And if you got to the end of this video, all the way to this 11-minute mark, 11 minutes and 45 seconds, we're going to Friday. The Canucks have a day off. They're not practicing. Let's say the word is alive. Put it in all caps, meaning the Canucks are still alive in the playoff race, but barely. So if you got this far, give yourselves a pat on the back and type the word alive in the comments. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.